dropped my other phone on the ground. I'll show you. This phone, my Apple phone. I don't have a case on it yet, and it fell, but it didn't crack. So let me act like I'm on live video. And this morning, what we're going to do is 12 sun salutations, and we're going to hold the sun salutations. And we're going to focus on light, which is the sun salutations, saluting the sun, right? Not this type of salute like hoodie, but recognizing the light. And regardless if you're doing sun salutations during the day or in the morning or at night, whenever you're doing the sun salutations, that light is always within. And what I want to share is something I was reading this morning from the Bible, and it's that God is light. And that's a beautiful thing. So this is from the Bible, 1 John chapter 1, verse 5. And that's all I'm going to share. So 1 John, chapter 1, verse 5. This is the message we have heard from him and declare to you. God is light. In him, there is no darkness at all. So, let me get out of that. That's all I wanted to share. Do what you want with it, or do nothing at all with it. So we're going to do the 12 sun salutations. We're going to hold these poses during the sun salutation, and you're going to accept where you are. So you're going to let go of the mindset of trying to be somewhere. You're going to let go of the mindset of judgment. So when you're in the downward dog, for example, you're thinking, man, I'm not doing it great. Or, man, I'm doing it perfect. Let go of that mindset. Let go of that mindset. That's the mindset of judgment, and that's what we're learning on the mat. Non-judgment, even judgment against yourself, judgment against others, letting go of all that. And you're letting go of the mindset of control, of trying to control where you're going. You're doing that at first, but then you're just accepting. Capital A. That's the capital A. They used to do a capital A like that sometimes. I don't know. That's just a lowercase a that's big. So I never understood that. But so let's go ahead and begin. Go to mountain pose. Feet are shoulder width apart. Toes go up. Spread the toes as wide as you can. Each toe touches the floor one at a time. Back is straight. Hips are tilted. Knees are bent. And you're finding that spot where the skeleton is just standing. So if you just your skeleton, you're finding where the bones line up, and your skeleton would just stand by itself. Just focus on the breathing, thinking of nothing else but the breathing. Now your mind will wander. You'll start to think about other things. When that happens, just gently bring your awareness and your focus back to the breathing. Don't judge it. Don't think, hey, man, I shouldn't be doing that or thinking that. Just bring your awareness and your focus back to the breathing. So the first sun salutations, we're going to really talk you through them. So palms go together, thumbs go to the heart center. And when my arms go up and back, my hands will disappear out of the frame of the camera. Just keep the prayer position of the hands, symbolic prayer hand gesture, or go out or go up like this. Doesn't matter what you do. Just do what you can do and just focus on the breathing. Push the arms out, up and back. Inhale slowly. It's the first stretch, so just listen to the body. Then hinge forward. Palms go to the calves. Elbows into the sides of the legs. Foreheads go into the knees. And just focus on the breathing. This will only do the second stretch. So you're just listening to the body, focusing on the breathing, accepting where you're going or where you go. You are pulling yourself in and down, but you're not going past the spot of where you should be.
So you get right to the spot right before you feel like you can't go any further. Find that spot, accept it, and just focus on the breathing. And as we move through these, you'll get a little bit, well, not a little bit, you might get a little bit or you might get more. Just get flexible more and more. Now palms to the sides of the feet. Left leg is back into a low lunge. I got something on my mat. Piece of paint. So with the low lunge, top of the foot to the floor in the back, knees to the floor, hips in a square, pushing forward diagonally. Back straight, maybe arched to your palms, maybe to your fingertips, or maybe you're up like this. Wherever you are, you're going to accept it and just focus on the breathing. Now, make sure the front knee is not over the toe. If it is, you need to lengthen up. Make sure it stays behind the toe if you can, and just focus on the breathing. Now we're going to go into the high lunge. We won't stay in the high lunge. We'll just settle there for a second or two using it as a transition pose. So back knee goes up, so the toes in the back are curled under, knee goes up. Settle here for a second or two, then move into the downward dog. The downward dog, you are pushing into this pose. Your arms are straight, legs are straight, tailbone is going to the ceiling. No tension in the neck. So the head is dangling, and you're pushing in this pose, but you're only pushing to the spot right before you feel like you can't go any further. Find that spot, settle there, accept where you are, and focus on the breathing. You're going to slide into the upper dog, drop down to the knees, the chest, you slide up, tops of the feet are to the floor. Of course, the palms are to the floor. Now you're going to modify this pose if you have to. So you go down to the small cobra. Small cobra, chest is off the floor, so you're pulling up. You're using your back muscles. So you're pulling up. The palms are touching the floor, but you're not using them. You're not pushing up. You're pulling up. Or just go to your hands and knees and just modify it. As long as you're focusing on the breathing, as long as the mind and body is one, then you're doing yoga. Then back to downward dog, pushing into it. Arms are straight, legs are straight, heels towards the floor, they're into the floor, and the tailbones go to the ceiling or to the sky, wherever you are, and just assume you're inside. You could be outside. And just focus on the breathing. Think of nothing else but the breathing. Then you bring the left foot up between the hands. That's the foot that we took back, so that's the one we bring back up, because that allows you to do the other side. So with the back foot is to the floor. Back foot to the floor. Top of the foot is to the floor. Knees to the floor. Hips are square, so they're pushing forward diagonally. Back is straight. Maybe arch. Make sure the front knee is not going over the toe. If it is, you need to lengthen up. Palms to the floor. Maybe you're to your fingertips. And then by the sixth sun salutation, maybe you get down to the palms. Right? But right now, you're just listening to the body, accepting where you are, and focusing on the breathing. The flexibility, coordination, balance, all that stuff happens. That's not what you're focused on in yoga. That's secondary. That'll come along. Just focus on the breathing. Now with the back foot, curl the toes under, knee goes up, high lunge. So here for a second or two. Then move into the standing forward bend, pulling yourself in and down. And in this pose, you're letting yourself breathe. So when you inhale, the belly swells with air, so it slightly pushes you out of the pose. And then when you exhale, the belly goes in, so you go into the pose a little bit more. Now you're aware of that movement. You're not focused on the movement. You're aware of it. And you're aware of it because you're focused on the breathing. The breathing heightens your awareness. So palms together, reach out, up and back. Inhale. Exhale. Turn the palms out. Push the hair down and out. Inhale. Exhale. Inch forward. Palms go to the calves. Elbows into the sides of the legs. Pull yourself in and down. So I just heard someone jogging. I heard their feet boom, 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 boom. Sounded like it was going right about the door, but it can't be because I have a gate there. Nobody else heard it but me. So palms to the sides of the feet. Right leg is back. So I have this door open. If somebody runs by. Nobody can run by. I have a fence there, but thinking, hey, somebody's running by. So top the foot to the floor, knees to the floor, hips are square, pushing forward diagonally. Back is straight, maybe arch the knees, not over the toes. If it is, lengthen up to your palms, maybe to your fingertips, and just accept where you are and focus on the breathing. And with the back foot, curl the toes under, knee goes up, high lunge, settle here, just for a second or two. Then move into the downward dog, pushing into it. Arms are straight, legs are straight, tailbones to the ceiling, heels towards the floor. And you're pushing into it, pushing to the spot right before you feel like, hey, I shouldn't go any further. Find that spot, settle there, and focus on the breathing. Make a slide into the upper dog, drop down to the knees and chest, slide up, or modify the pose to the small cobra, or your hands and knees. Whatever you're doing is fine. As long as you're focusing on the breathing, that focus is what allows the mind and body to connect. And then back to downward dog, pushing into it. Arms are straight, legs are straight. Tailbones go to the ceiling, heels towards the floor. Whether to the floor, no tension in the neck, so the head is dangling. And just focus on breathing. Now, right foot is up between the hands. Low lunge with a low lunge, top the foot to the floor, knees to the floor, hips are square, pushing forward diagonally, back is straight, maybe arch. The front knee is not over the toe. If it is, over the toes. If it is, lengthen up to your palms, maybe to your fingertips. Just accept where you are and focus on the breathing. Now with the back foot, curl the toes under, knee goes up, high lunge, settle here for a second or two. Then move into the standing forward bend, pull yourself in and down, letting yourself breathe. And you're focusing on the breathing, which makes you aware of what's going on in the body, makes you aware of the belly going out and in. Makes you aware of maybe something in the lower back, maybe your hamstrings, but you're not focused on that stuff. So palms together, reach out, up and back, inhale, exhale. And we have 10 more. I'm going to move into them a little bit more. So pushing into the poses, opening up into the poses, a little bit more. Just focus on the breathing, standing forward bend. I'm going to go a little bit faster, not too much. A little bit, and just focus on the breathing. Palms beside the feet, left leg is back into a low lunge. Low lunge, top the foot to the floor, knees to the floor. Make sure the front knee is not over the toe or over the toes. If you go over the toe, over the toes, and just focus on the breathing. And with the back foot, curl the toes under, knee goes up, high lunge. So here for a second or two, then downward dog. Pushing into it. Focusing on the breathing, arms are straight, legs are straight, and you are pushing into this pose. But just focus on the breathing. And slide into the upper dog. Or modify it how you have to. No matter what you're doing, as long as your mind and body is connecting, you're doing yoga. So you're going to accept what you're doing, accept where you are, downward dog, pushing into it. Arms are straight, legs are straight. If your eyes are open, you look at your toes, or you might have socks on, you look at your feet, and you're getting the face towards the feet. Left leg is up, into a low lunge, top the foot to the floor, knees to the floor, hips are square, pushing forward, make sure the front knee is not over the toe, and just focus on the breathing. Then curl the toes under in the back, high lunge. Standing forward bend, pull yourself in and down. Focus on the breathing. Thinking of nothing else but the breathing. Palms together, reach out, up and back, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, hinge forward. Palms go to the calves, elbows into the sides of the legs. Pull yourself in and down. So you hinge from the lower back. I didn't do that, I was fixing my shirt, but you hinge from the lower back, so you're reaching out. Right leg is back into a low lunge. Top of the foot to the floor, knees to the floor. Making sure the front knee is not over the toes. And you're just accepting where you are, focusing on the breathing. The toes under in the back, high lunge, downward dog, pushing into it. Arms are straight, legs are straight. Then slide into the upper dog. Modify it how you have to. Back to downward dog. Right foot is up between the hands. Low lunge, top the foot to the floor, knees to the floor, hips are square, pushing forward diagonally, making sure the front knee is not over the toe. If it is, lengthen up some. And just focus on the breathing. And high lunge, standing forward bend. Pull yourself in and down, palms together, reach out, up and back, inhale, exhale, 8 more, inhale, exhale, pull yourself in and down, standing forward bend. Palms to the sides of the feet, left leg is back, low lunge. Now you're just focusing on the breathing, letting the movements become a form of a meditation. High lunge, downward dog. And all you're doing is focusing on the breathing. Make sure you're aware of the movements. Upper dog. And that is what allows the sun salutation to be a form of a moving meditation. Downward dog. And if you like, you're focusing on light. Right? Just like I read in the beginning, God is light. So left foot is up between the hands, if that's what you believe. It's from the Bible. It's actually this too. All these, God is light. That's the Satchitananda high lunge, standing forward bend, Satchitananda ashram. One truth, many paths. God is light. Palms together, reach out, up and back, inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Focusing on the breathing. Right leg is back, little lunge, top of the foot to the floor, knees to the floor, making sure the front knee is not over the toe, and just focus on the breathing. High lunge, downward dog, pushing into it. Let me fix my shirt. Upward dog. Just focus on the breathing. Modify this pose. As long as your mind and body's connecting, keep on saying that, but it's very important. No judgment. No judgment. No judgment. Right foot is up between the hands, low lunge, top foot to the floor, knees to the floor. Make sure the front knee's not over the toe. Focusing on the breathing. High lunge, standing forward bend, pull yourself in and down. Palms together, reach out, up and back, inhale. Exhale. Again, inhale. Exhale. 6 more. Pull yourself in and down, focusing on the breathing. And you're focusing on light too. Sun salutation, so light. Just like I read in the beginning. I said that before, but just like I read in the beginning, God is light. So that foot is to the floor, top of the foot is to the floor, knees to the floor. God is light, God is within. You focus on that light. High lunge. Downward dog. Upward dog. Modify it how you have to. No judgment. Doesn't matter. If you're modifying it, it's fine. Just accept it. Doesn't matter. Let the mindset of judgment go. Left foot is up. Low lunge. High lunge, then standing forward bend. Palms together, reach out, up and back, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Standing forward bend, pull yourself in and down. Still let yourself breathe. Right leg is back, low lunge. Focusing on the breathing. And we'll go a little bit faster. Go faster. High lunge, downward dog. So you might be doing 2 breaths, 3 breaths in these. Doesn't matter. Wherever you are, accept it. Upward dog. You say high lunge. It's not the high lunge, just upward dog or modify it. Downward dog, focusing on the breathing. Thinking of nothing else but the breathing. And then right foot is up. Low lunge. High lunge, standing forward bend. The high lunge is just a transition pose, so you're not staying in it long. Inhale, exhale. 4 more, inhale, exhale, hinge forward, pull yourself in and down. Left foot is up, left foot is back, focusing on the breathing. And a low lunge, then high lunge, then downward dog, upward dog, downward dog, left foot is up between the hands, low lunge, high lunge, then standing forward bend. Palms together, reach out, up and back, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Right foot is back, low lunge. So when I start talking and instructing, I don't do the poses as great as I should. High lunge, right? But that's judgment, right? I'm judging. Downward dog, pushing into it. Upward dog. When you instruct, you're missing a little aspect of the yoga, which is the focusing on the breathing totally. I'm trying to think about how to instruct. Right foot is up, low lunge, which throws off what I'm doing with the poses. High lunge, standing forward bend. I don't do the poses perfectly anyways. Inhale, exhale. 2 more, inhale. But if your mind and body is connecting, no matter how the pose looks, you're doing yoga. Standing forward bend. Left leg is back, low lunge. That is yoga. The mind and body is connecting. High lunge, downward dog. You can wash the dishes. If you're washing the dishes, upward dog, your mind and body's connecting as one with that activity. Even if you're doing the dishes, that is yoga. Downward dog, that's what you're learning on the mat. So the sun salutations is just so now my breath is off. Low lunge, now high lunge, standing forward bend. Put yourself in and down. You're just learning this stuff on the mat. So when you go out in the real world, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, standing forward bend, pull yourself in and down. When you're in the real world, you're taking what you're learning on the mat. So you're moving, focusing on the breathing. That's what you're doing in the real world. You're at a job, hit your job, high lunge, downward dog. You're moving, but you're focused on breathing, right? That's life. Prawn, upward dog. Downward dog. This is the last one. So right foot is up, low lunge, high lunge, standing forward bend, pull yourself in and down. Arms together, reach out, up and back, inhale, exhale. Then you're gonna go to mountain pose. Mountain pose is where we began. That's what we're gonna end with. So with the mountain pose, toes go up, spread the toes as wide as you can. Each toe touches the floor. One at a time. Knees are bent, hips are tilted, back is straight. And then you're trying to find that spot where the skeleton is standing. So all your bones, trying to find that spot. If you were just your skeleton, you're going to stand it up by itself. And it's possible. No tension anywhere. And just focusing on the breathing. Thinking of nothing else but the breathing. Now I'm going to stay here a little bit longer so that just watch yourself breathe. You're already breathing automatically. So you just go to focus on the breathing, watching yourself breathe. It is natural. Once you start watching yourself breathe, we want to control it. But don't do that. We're letting go of the mindset of control. So when you inhale, the belly goes in and out. You're watching that, or your chest goes in and out. Or you watch the air go in and out of your nose. Just watching it, realizing you're not your thoughts. Bring the palms together. That's it. Number 75, YouTube Live Yoga Routine. And I was going to say something about light. I think I talked enough during the yoga routine, which kind of threw me off. It threw me off on what I was doing. I knew what I was doing, but it throws me off in doing the yoga because I'm focusing on talking, I'm focusing on instruction. So I'm not totally focused on the breathing. But if you're watching this, that's what you're focused on, the breathing. And the breathing is important because in yoga, the yoga philosophy is that's where prana rides in on the breath, life. So you can breathe
But if you don't have that life on that breath, then you're not going to breathe much longer unless you're on a machine that's making you breathe. So anyway, so I'll see you tomorrow, 5:30 a.m. Arizona time, Mountain Standard Time. So namaste, peace and love.